Yo, what up, Wafeti? It's your boy, Sepiso.
And I am Monalena Imarwola.
Yeah, Wafeti, I'm coming straight up to you. Like, it's something really disturbing, especially in the Northwest Province that's going on right now, concerning the Mahika Mahikeng event. Like, so as you all know that we are media people, like we do media coverage and ish like that. We were called for a media briefing today in Mahikeng, which was actually some kind of rebound to the actual media briefing that had happened last week in Sandton. So the media briefing happened last week in at Sandton, and we actually didn't go and attend the media briefing because we felt like it was disrespectful for us to actually leave the province and go interprovincial for
A provincial event.
to actually promote the provincial event. It was some kind of disrespectful for us. So there was a hullabaloo that was caused on the social media concerning that thingy, that how can a provincial event be launched in another province, which didn't really make sense. Although many media houses are based in Johannesburg, mainstream. Yeah, many mainstream media houses are based in Johannesburg, but I don't feel like mainstream, tell me if I'm wrong. I don't feel like mainstream media houses, if they were to find invitations to actually come and do an OB this site, they would have a problem.
Yeah, I think in this particular situation, I don't think the reasons that we are getting as, the Northwest people are actual reasons.
Yeah.
I just think they are, I wouldn't want to say this, I'm not saying this in an offensive manner, but I think they are just excuses in a way.
Yeah.
To kind of try and cool down the whole situation, because I don't think it's important for the media briefing to be held in Sandton. Honestly, it's not important. There's nothing that could be changed by this. If people were gonna attend the event, they were gonna attend it, even if the media briefing was held here. It was not important for it to go to Sandton, but I guess it's politics in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know somehow it's politics.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the issue. But you're not wrong. If they want to come and cover the event, let's take for an example some of the previous events that were held in Rustenburg. We had MTV base come here, from wherever it's based. That it came here to Northwest to come and attend the actual event without the need of the organizers taking the media briefing to the TV base.
Exactly.
Yes.
So hence I was saying, I feel like those people who are actually causing a havoc, the people who disturbed the main media briefing that was supposed to happen today, are somehow rightful to what they did today. Because had the media briefing been held in in the Northwest Province, especially in Mahikeng, the same amount. Basically, when you hold a project like this, there's a budget allocated for everything that you do, including the media briefing, the transportation, food and venue hiring and all that. I believe, according to my perspective, I'm not saying this is the right thing that I'm saying, but I feel like had it been held in the Northwest Province, we wouldn't be going through what we're going through now. Because basically, if you take business out of the province for the project that's supposed to give back to the province.
And the worst part is that, the government is part of the provincial government is part of this whole event.
So right now where we're standing, they took the media briefing to Sandton. I don't know how it was. I don't know the kind of venue they had hired and all that. Bruh, who doesn't like, who needed that in Sandton? I feel like it's something that was supposed to be taken to Mahikeng, to a certain guest house, not a hotel to be precise. Not even a hotel or something, but it was supposed to be held in a guest house somewhere in Mahikeng, meaning the food and everything, it was going to add into the community, the economic community of Mahikeng. You understand?
It makes sense, yes.
Yeah.
But in this particular situation, if we look at this thing, like if we just open our eyes and not be biased, nobody's being biased anyways. The thing is that I personally believe that the government is responsible for failing the province in this particular situation. Because let us look at it this way. We have the Provincial Department of Arts and Culture.
Yeah.
When there is an event in the province, they're supposed to outsource service providers from the event.
Exactly.
But I'm not contesting the whole issue of whoever is hosting this event, no, being, employed in this. The thing is that, as the government, they should have, alerted them that, a certain percentage of this project has to go to the province, has to be, it has to go back to the economy of the province.
Yeah.
You have to use the service providers of the province. Similar thing to, municipalities. Like for an example, if a municipality hosts an event here,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if a person from Pretoria or Devon or whatever comes and hosts an event. But the thing that, they always, make sure that it happens is that they should always use service providers who are local.
That's called championing the project.
Yeah.
The Mahikeng local municipality or whatever, the municipality in Mahikeng, the municipality in Mabatu is championing the project. No matter the fact that it was awarded to Tepiso Siko by the department, and then Tepiso Siko is the one who's supposed to make decisions of who he adds as subcontractors. Because I'm the one with the contract, for an example.
Yeah.
Don't come looking for me. That's not really, it's just an example. If I'm Tepiso Siko and I'm given a project, as the municipality is championing that, apart from the fact that the municipality doesn't fund that, for the fact that it's being funded by a provincial government department, it's basically saying we are taking this to the municipality of Mabatu or whatever they call it, and that municipality should champion this. They should go into their database. There's a database, central the supply database. That's where it comes in. There are service providers that are on CSD in Mahikeng that probably rendering services that this event is gonna need. Obviously, there's security, there's cleaning, there's just a lot to mention. And I believe the SMMEs in Mahikeng that are dealing with those kind of things. You understand? Even right now, the guest houses in Mahikeng, yes, they didn't benefit from the media briefing. One of them could have held that. But still, I don't want to be biased and miss the point that once the event is happening, basically they are going to actually benefit in some type of way. I believe it's going to be one of the biggest events that happen in Mahikeng, and I'm expecting an overflow in guest houses. They are not going to be able to handle the crowd that's going to be coming in there.
If guest houses, I think they'll be favored.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be.
Yeah, anyhow.
But we still have a lot of companies. For an example, like you mentioned, security parties,
Cleaning.
And also there's vendors. There's just a lot of businesses around that could have benefited from this project.
Exactly.
Including like you said, the venues, steam venues for the media houses.
Yeah.
If they could have, because that the media house today was supposed to be held at the Mabatu Convention Center.
Yeah.
Which is
a
government
in the government.
So basically, it was free. It was free. So it was just booked. So what about the budget for
the one that happened?
Yeah, they didn't use a free venue there. Obviously,
yes,
they translated people from Northwest to there. Meaning that I'd say majority of the budget that they had for the media briefing had already been exhausted.
Exactly.
Hence,
and it happened.
It already happened.
Yeah, and they paid for the venue, the food,
everything,
transportation, and everything. So they had collapsed their budget for the media briefing, and then they thought of a rebound.
Yeah.
What was happening today was supposed to be a rebound. Hence, it's even happening in a government
institution.
In a government venue. Because they just book for free.
The thing is that people don't want to open up to the whole idea that if there hadn't been an outrage in social media concerning the media briefing, there was never going to be a rebound of the media briefing. Which was
we called it a rebound because that went on and there was a hullabaloo that was caused. Yeah. And many people from the Northwest didn't want to associate with what was happening in Sandton. So basically, because
they're trying to contain the situation.
Yeah, they're trying to, it's called disaster management. They're just trying to, try to hide this and that, twist and turn.
Yeah, and the other thing that, I've actually been following the page, the social media handles for the whole event.
Yeah.
What I saw when they first released the lineup, there was an outrage also. Yeah. That's where I first saw, this whole outrage of people fighting. They were fighting that, we don't have any local artists from Mahikeng, from around the province on the lineup.
Yeah.
Then they went on and did the rebound. And as usual, what they did was that they asked the followers to mention, what these big events usually do. And yeah. But also, if there hadn't been that outrage in social media, we were never gonna have local artists performing there.
And it's funny how they call this Mahika Mahikeng Cultural Event or cultural whatsoever festival. How is it a Mahika Mahikeng Cultural Festival? But it is measured by the artists that are not even from Mahikeng.
Yeah, we do have a lot of artists from Mahikeng, honestly.
I do.
I personally believe like this could have been a provincial thing,
It's something Northwest had to shine.
Yeah, Northwest had
to shine. It's supposed just had to shine.
Get it?
It's us showing our culture.
Our culture.
So how
the world.
Every type of
the thing about this whole event, the vision that they have, apart from them putting Northwest second in this whole thing.
Yeah.
They have a really, great vision for the fact that, they have 3 different events with 3 different music genres.
Yeah.
Meaning like this was gonna be the biggest event in Northwest to ever accommodate our local artists
and everybody.
Because, they posted about, giving away stalls for artists for free.
Yeah.
I think if they hadn't, the issue here is Senten.
Yeah.
If they hadn't went to, Senten for the media briefing, I think this was gonna be a very great initiative.
This is a very good idea, but it was just executed in a wrong manner. Hence the hullabaloo that we have now. Basically, it's a very good concept. It's a very good idea. It's a very good way of doing things. But just one element can compromise the whole project. Especially when it comes to the people of the Northwest.
Yeah, because Northwest has always been sidelined in everything.
In everything.
Everybody's already too sensitive.
Exactly. And seeing people from the Northwest doing the same thing that we have been complaining about over the years. I mean, personally, I don't know when and how Mahika Mahikeng erupted.
Yeah.
I do not know. But I guess one of the objectives of this whole event is actually to give exposure and also give experience to the people. Create a platform for these people of the Northwest province who cannot go back. It's not an easy thing to go to Johannesburg and actually maneuver into everything and then
recognize a single gig.
Exactly. It's not a simple thing. It's not a simple thing. So I personally feel like the main objective for the government to even fund this project, it is because it is said that this thing is giving exposure to everybody, that we do have this kind of art in the Northwest province. We do have fashion, we do have musicians, we have our own kind of food. I personally feel like
it's just to show whenever we are also capable.
Exactly.
And the nice part about it, it was supposed to be a provincial thing. There's something that I'm going to, say over and over again. It was supposed to be a provincial thing because Mahikeng, that's how they say
it's a capital city.
It's a capital city.
Exactly.
That's where the provincial legislature is. That's where the office of the premier is. That's where all the other.
That's where our government.
Yes, that's where the government is.
Yeah.
Basically, so it's supposed to be a provincial thing. I mean, if it's supposed to be a provincial thing, I don't think, personally, like, I'm not against anybody here.
Yeah.
I don't think the person who is hosting this event was supposed to be from out of the province.
Exactly. Personally, who invites a neighbor into a family meeting? Doesn't make sense.
I mean,
family meeting is around the family.
It's supposed, like,
not even
there. Let's take for an example. We had Rustenburg show.
Yeah.
It was hosted in Rustenburg by a Rustenburg-based company.
Yeah.
It was a successful event.
Yeah.
What is the difference with Mahika Mahikeng? Why can't they just, find a service provider from within the province who will organize this whole province? Even if they can, I'm not trying to put myself in the spotlight, but if they could have given me a budget and said, here's this much. We want such and such an event. I wouldn't have failed to call artists to, organize media briefings, get artists, talk engagements and everything. The problem here is I don't get why our own people don't believe in us. They don't believe. They don't believe.
They do not believe in themselves. Let's start there. If you can go outside of the province, because you're saying if you go outside of the province, then you are pulling people into the Northwest Province. That's why you get it wrong. We don't have to call MTN to come and host summer awards in Sun City. It's something they do yearly. It's something they do always. We have people coming from the UK coming into the Northwest Province. People from all over the world, they come into the Northwest Province because the Sun City. You cannot tell me that the reason for you to hold a media briefing in Johannesburg is pulling crowd to Northwest. Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't work.
It really doesn't make sense.
Because, you can easily pull the audience while you're still here. I mean, one thing I love about Northwest people, when it comes to such events, they do attend. They do attend.
They do.
So this whole thing of hosting a media briefing that side, it's just not believing in our local media in a way. It's sidelining them. They should have just trusted, like they are not. And the biggest disappointment is the government. Have you ever seen the government calling media from other provinces, or have they ever held press whatever in other provinces? Why does this have to be different?
Even imagine them holding a state of the province address.
Why does it have to be